Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today we're diving into this fascinating realm of CryptoPunks NFTs. Those iconic, pixelated characters that have become a staple in digital art.
Absolutely. It's crazy how these little 2424 images have evolved from a mere experiment to a multi-million-dollar phenomenon.
Right, because think about it. Back in 2017, CryptoPunks were essentially free for anyone with an Ethereum wallet, just paying the gas fee. And now some of them are going for millions. It's like they started as a cool project and then, well, exploded into culture.
Exactly. And they're not just art. They represent a shift in how we view ownership in the digital space. I mean, proof of ownership on the blockchain carries a whole new weight, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. You see, each CryptoPunk comes with a unique combination of traits, like hats, glasses, even more eccentric features like alien or zombie forms. It's like every piece tells its own story.
And that uniqueness is key to their value. The idea that each one is completely unlike another is pretty powerful when you think about it.
Absolutely. And it's more than just uniqueness. It's the limited supply, only 10,000 ever, that really drives up the exclusivity. Plus, these images are stored directly on the Ethereum blockchain, ensuring that they're secure and truly lasting artifacts of digital art.
Right? And storing them on-chain rather than on an external server adds that extra layer of durability. It guarantees that the art is, well, for the ages.
Exactly. And then there's the whole backstory, created by Matt Hall and John Watkinson of Larva Labs as an experimental project. And then later, in 2022, the intellectual property was sold to Yuga Labs. That move really cemented their status in the culture, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, handing over those commercial rights to the punk owners basically unlocked even more potential for creativity and commerce. It was a bold move.
Right. It opened up a lot of doors. Think about it. Controversies aside, the fact that holders can actually build services or products with their CryptoPunks adds a dynamic, real-world utility to these digital assets. It's a whole new frontier of art and commerce merging.
Speaking of merging, isn't it interesting how CryptoPunks paved the way for later collections like CryptoKitties, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and even Cryptodes?
Yeah, exactly. They're like the godfathers of the NFT movement. Their experimental nature, the use of blockchain for artwork, and that raw, unfiltered aesthetic all set the stage for what was to come.
And when you look at the details, like the pixelated 8-bit style inspired by the cyberpunk movement, it adds a retro yet futuristic vibe that appeals to both art collectors and tech enthusiasts.
Exactly. And it's quite fascinating how these little pixel portraits reflect influences from, both the cyberpunk culture and even nods to groups like Daft Punk and the London punk scene of the 70s. That mix of cultural elements makes them so intriguing.
Now, while all of this is exciting, I sometimes wonder, isn't the pricing a bit overblown? Do you really think the unique attributes and blockchain security justify like multi-million-dollar price tags?
Good point there. I mean, on one hand, rarity and historical significance do tend to drive up value, but there's also this aspect of speculative investment. It's like a luxury brand. When scarcity meets hype, prices can go through the roof.
True. But don't you think that sometimes the market can overestimate the future potential? I mean, technology and art markets can be volatile.
Well, absolutely. There's always that risk, particularly in nascent markets like digital art. But the enduring nature of blockchain and the growing acceptance of NFTs as legitimate art forms might, in some ways, offset that risk. It's a balancing act between hype and genuine cultural impact.
And speaking of impact, it's interesting how CryptoPunks not only influenced digital art, but also got a nod in places like luxury goods. Remember Tiffany's releasing a CryptoPunk pendant?
Right. That was a wild crossover moment, really. It showed how niche digital art started crossing over into mainstream luxury culture. It's like how a mixtape becomes platinum. Unexpected, but then totally validating.
Totally. And let's not forget the innovative acquisition methods. I was reading about how one CryptoPunk was fractionalized among over 56,000 addresses. That's a clever way to make such an exclusive asset more accessible to enthusiasts who can't drop millions at once.
Yes, it's like breaking a high-end cake into slices. Each piece might be small, but it still offers a taste of that exclusive flavor. It democratizes access while preserving the rarity and overall prestige of the collection.
Now let's talk about how someone new might get into this space. What's the process of buying a CryptoPunk for an absolute beginner?
So the first thing is you need an Ethereum-based wallet, like MetaMask, to interact with the various NFT marketplaces, platforms like OpenSea, Rarible, Nifty Gateway, or even LooksRare. You connect your wallet, ensure you have some ETH, and then you can start bidding or buying directly on these platforms.
And the Larva Labs website still plays a role, right? Although with the shift to Yuga Labs, things might eventually consolidate under a single portal.
That's right. For now, you can still claim or view CryptoPunks on Larva Labs, but eventually, pending full transition, Yuga Labs platforms might become the go-to destination, especially as they continue to grant commercial rights to the owners. It's evolving as we speak.
And what about the visual cues on the Larva Labs site, like background colors indicating sale status? Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, it's pretty neat. If a punk has a blue background, it means it isn't for sale. A red background indicates that it's up for sale. And purple shows that there's an active bid. It's like a simple, color-coded indicator of market activity, which really helps collectors know what's hot at a glance.
That's smart design, really. Organized and intuitive, which is crucial when you're dealing with assets that can be worth millions.
Definitely. And as for the future, while it's always hard to predict exactly where CryptoPunks will head, their foundational role in the NFT space is, well, undeniably significant. They might see another surge in popularity as the market recovers, or they could remain a niche icon for digital art collectors.
I can see both sides. On the one hand, their historical value and cultural legitimacy could drive mainstream resurgence. On the other, market volatility might temper their hype in the short term.
That's right. And it's that uncertainty that makes the space so fascinating. It's like being at the forefront of a cultural revolution in art and technology.
Absolutely.
Simultaneously. The stakes and the excitement are both high.
And another cool thing is, even if someone screenshots a CryptoPunk or prints it out, it's not the same as owning the original on-chain NFT.
Exactly. It's the blockchain ownership that counts. You might get a copy, but it's like owning an original painting versus a print. Only the original holds the authentic value. And that's what keeps the collectors coming back, right?
Definitely. It's all about that verified, immutable authenticity. I mean, in a world where digital reproduction is trivial, owning something that's securely recorded on the blockchain feels surreal.
It really does. And when you layer in the cultural cachet, celebrities, luxury collaborations, the whole NFT ecosystem, suddenly CryptoPunks aren't just collectibles. They're status symbols in the digital era.
Right.
It's fascinating how art and technology blend like this.
So, wrapping it all up, CryptoPunks are not just art. They're a convergence of digital innovation, cultural disruption, and investment dynamics, right?
Precisely, they're a microcosm of the NFT and blockchain revolution. Whether you're an art lover, a tech enthusiast, or someone looking for an investment angle, CryptoPunks offer a glimpse into the shifting paradigm of ownership and creativity. It's a wild ride that's still unfolding.
And that's what makes the world of CryptoPunks so endlessly compelling. Thanks for the deep dive. I'm definitely looking at these pixelated punks with a new perspective now.
Anytime. It's been a blast unpacking the colorful, chaotic, and absolutely dynamic universe of CryptoPunks with you.
Until next time, keep exploring the intersections of art, technology, and culture.